Okay, so we're making it in here. Hi, Kami, nice to have you here. And
Hello.
we are going to be talking about our community that Kamila is part of, and she has quite a beautiful story and as well like unusual experience of knowing each other, working together. So I will be asking you, Kamila, a few questions about what was your life before like, how is the community. What I would love you to share is mainly the feel of what's the energy like, and really so people can experience a little bit like our conversation here. This is quite usual. We normally meet like this on in some online space, and we talk and experience it in this way. So let's get started. Would you share a little bit just about yourself, about, well, where you are at right now, and maybe just a little bit about your story, how you came to doing what you're doing, and so a little bit about yourself and your story.
Sure. First thing, happy to be here. Second, every time I get a question like this, my head starts exploding because it's like all the thoughts in my head, and it's my nature that my head creates uncountable amount of answers. So it's always hard for me to choose what I want to share right now in this time at this place. Anyways, right now I'm located in Barcelona. I moved here exactly 4 weeks ago, getting used to this place, and that all because I work as a life coach, and mostly online, or then with people I meet personally at the locations where I am located that time. So that's how I got to meet Jana, and how I got to become a part of this courageous CEOs community. And yeah, that's where our journey started, because we first met online. Actually, like, I got to hear about Jana and about that she exists, but then we met physically in Prague after we were celebrating. That was actually what was it? The
It was our meeting
absolvent party, right?
Yeah.
Absolvent, the meeting of absolvents of the coaching training, somatic coaching trainings meeting, actually, right? So that's where I got to meet her in person, because I heard about her from the surroundings, and then it took some time for me to join the community. But that's where the journey started.
I didn't know you actually knew me before meeting at the absolvent event.
It was more like I think it was like a friend of mine knew you, and someone maybe mentioned you within the training, but it was not that I would knew you, or that I would follow you, or that I would know more about what you do and how you work. Not at all.
Okay. All right, cool. And would you share more about, basically, so you quit your job, about this kind of transition journey together with your travels?
Yeah. This journey is actually quite new to me, or it depends from what point of view I look at that, because I used to work as a financial manager. I studied economy. I worked on projects at a university or at Siemens later on, and in nonprofit organizations, in many organizations, and it was all the time about numbers, administration, and things like that. And I knew that time that it's not exactly what I enjoy doing. Actually, I did enjoy that. I loved that. I was very good at that, but I still felt like there is something empty inside, that I need to do something more. Like, this is not my journey. So, and because it's actually 12 years ago, or how long, when I was going to university, I wanted to go to study psychology, but I never got in. So I gave up, and that's how I ended up studying economy. And 10 years later, I'm actually doing exactly what I wanted to do that time, because I decided to do some trainings and education, and I followed personal growth. So it all started 4 years or maybe more years ago. But that time I was still employed. I had money coming into my account. I worked at the fields which were known to me, where I knew what I do. But beginning of this year, starting January, I finished all my jobs, because I had quite a few of them. I gave notices everywhere. I moved out from my apartment in Prague, and I decided to travel and to work from abroad, and to actually, I like to say, not to have a home, but feel at home everywhere I go. So that was the start of the journey. That time I knew that I was slowly becoming an entrepreneur, and that I wanted to be my own boss, and that I wanted to have a freedom and work on things that fulfills me with things that fulfill me with joy, and what I just love to do. And it was the beginning of it all, because it was the most courageous step I took, to just become entrepreneur and to be dependent only on myself, and to earn my own money, and to do totally new things with new audience, and with all of that. And trust me, it was not easy at all, and it definitely is not easy at all even now.
Yeah, I'm curious, because this is big step for many people, and I know so many are considering to really transition from job into the business. But what helped you to make the step?
What helped me to make the step? I think that I was like a constant urge inside that was telling me that there is something much bigger than me actually outside, that there is something I want to do. And I knew that I loved this job. I knew that it helped me personally to grow a lot, being coached and have the support of therapists, coaches, mentors. And I knew it helped me to develop into a totally different person than I used to be. And it was just a pure passion. Like, I loved that. And that was like, okay, one day I will be doing this. And so I took like slow steps, like first training, second training, having a like changing jobs a bit, finding a job where I would be financial stabilized, and meantime working on coaching business. But whatever I did and whatever step I took, it was never like enough. I still felt like, okay, this is a part of the journey, but I'm not quite there yet. And I mean, even now it's still the part of the journey, because I'm not quite there yet. But I still had the feeling like whatever I keep as a back door is holding me back and stopping me from doing it. So I remember the discussion with my mom when I told her that I will be leaving a job, and that I really want to go fully into entrepreneurship and into freelancing. And she just looked at me and she was frightened, and she was like, yeah, I'm happy for you, and I really wish that all of that works for you, and I can see how happy and joyful you are. And then the but came, like, but don't you think it would be more reasonable if you just keep your job, have a stable job, have money, and you can slowly become an entrepreneur, and you can get new clients one by one. And when you have enough of clients, you just give up your job. And I was like, yeah, mom, but it's been happening for 2 years already. And it's all the time, all the same. I don't have enough time. Like, I don't want to spend more time on like spreading my energy into more things. I just want to focus on this. So I think this was like the moment when I realized that I just am putting my energy into something which is not the thing I want to do.
Yeah, I think this is very usual, right? So I think it's great to actually take it step by step, or it depends on the personality. Somebody needs to really jump in and really do it right away, or really build it slowly. Okay, thank you for sharing. Completely understand the mom's butt.
Yeah.
Okay, so would you share a little bit more about, so when we look at it from the business perspective as well from the personal, what were some of your challenges really when you already basically before you joined us in the community? What do you recall? Like, what were some of the biggest challenges?
For me, the most like frightening one was the feeling of being lonely, because if you are used to going to the office, if you are used to being surrounded with people, coming physically and to the office, which changed a bit, to be fair, with COVID, but still you or I had a place to go and people to meet with. But when you become freelancer, it's like suddenly it's you and your computer and your knowledge. And so that was the feeling like, wow, I am here by myself. And of course, I had many people around who were supporting me, and friends from trainings. But it's not that, it's you still feel like you are there alone, just by yourself. And it made me feel really scared, because it means that you are the one who gets to manage yourself, you are the one who gets to decide, you are the one who is accountable for anything that happens, and you are also the one who has to find all the knowledge which you don't have yet. So that's exactly why I started freelancing, like be my own boss, but at the same time, it's scary at the same amount as it's exciting. So that was the most, like the biggest feeling of all. And then I was, because at first I knew what steps I need to take, what I want to do, but then the knowledge just was done. I had no further knowledge of myself, so I knew that I need help of someone who knows what to do next, because I was starting to feel hopeless, like I don't know how this works, I just don't know. It's not about fear, it's not about not trusting myself, but it was about I really don't know. So that
Yes.
was basically what I went through.
Yeah, so I suppose you're referring to, I don't know really how to get clients, how to be out there, how to promote myself, like how is this whole thing really working?
Yes, exactly. It was all about the world's like world's marketing strategies, business, social media, and I was like, wow, none of that is my nature, and none of that is something I would have further knowledge in.
Yeah, and that's what I see quite common, is that so many people have actually their skills with, if it's coaching, therapy, but then they need to as well become, or at least know some parts of the marketing and promotion and sales, where many people want to just, I just want to do what I'm good at, what I love, and this whole part is like, that's kind of an addition, but obviously like without that we don't get to do the other part. Yeah. Okay, so you as well mentioned before that when we had a conversation previously, that there was there actually anything stopping you from joining us sooner, joining the community sooner, anything around that?
Yes, totally. Because as you mentioned, when you are a therapist or coach or whoever in the healing business, it's like at some point you are struggling with yourself for a long time. You do all those trainings, and at some point you feel finally good enough or ready enough to do the job. So you start, you get yourself out there, and suddenly you find out what else is there that you need to do. And that's exactly things you mentioned, like about how to get the clients, how to promote yourself, how to actually talk about your business, how to sell it, how to sell yourself. And that was the part when I was like, wow, okay, I didn't even know that I would have to go through all of that. At that time, it was exactly the point where I felt like, wow, now I'm ready. Now I can coach from the morning till the evening. I am really good at that. I love that job. I feel that energy which comes when I do that. It's really helpful. My clients are just like heroes. I love that. And that time I invested like hugely in myself. So I paid for many trainings before, I paid for mentorings, I paid for whatever came in my way. And that moment I was like, okay, this is enough. Now is the time that I get my money back. But that was exactly the point where I had no idea how to actually get the client. So I was standing in front of the decision, okay, will I do this by myself? Will I just find my way, keep the money because I will potentially need them in future if I'm starting my new business with no income? Will I just do what I think I should do, and will I save that money? Or will I invest again into community, into mentoring, and into like flourishing the or nourishing the other part of the business, which is not only the professional part of being coach, but as well the marketing part and business stuff. So that time I knew that, okay, this is the thing I will do, and this is the thing I want to do, because I definitely need someone who will support me in this and who will actually show me the way, because I was lost. I had no idea what to do. So what was stopping me from that was that I was not willing to invest further because I thought that I already invested enough.
That's really interesting, I think, as well, very common. So what helped you to want to change your mind?
I think it was actually here in Barcelona a few months ago in February when I was traveling here. At that time, I didn't know that I would move in here a few months later. And I was sitting in my apartment working on my things, knowing about you, knowing about that you work with women entrepreneurs and that you help them to find the clients. That was my own knowledge. And I knew you personally because I met you physically. And I loved your energy, and I was kind of like, this girl that could be something going on, like we could cooperate somehow. I had no idea how, what would it be. And I remember myself sitting in that apartment being just desperate, like after many hours and days getting things ready, and it was still not like what I would think it would look like. I was just sitting there and I was, okay, so let's just text Diana. Let's see what's gonna happen. So I think that was just the moment of total desperation and knowing that there is someone out there who could actually help me.
I think this is really interesting, like a breakthrough point for many. Of course, I remember for right as well for myself many times in the past, where like what's there for people to, right, if they see there is something for them that can help them, and right, to make the step. So for you there was like, okay, that's it, it's enough, like the desperation, like the pain was too big already.
Yeah.
Okay.
And for me it's the same with even my job, like, and with therapies and stuff like that. And I think it's like, if there is something out there that can help you, that can make your life easier and your dream life happening sooner, then why would you just sit and wait for things to happen if you can take that step and let others help you actually?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm a huge believer that yes, we can make it by ourselves, but it's much, much harder, and like it might never happen. I
Yeah.
believe it's possible, but it's much harder and much longer.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. So you mentioned you know me as well personally. What would you say, like, so we talk now on the screen, right? What would you say? How is it to know me physically, to know me online? How is it? Is it same? Is it different? How is your experience?
For me, it's actually the same in meaning like I can feel your energy on the screen as I can feel it when I meet you personally. I can see actually like the how like peaceful and joyful at the same time and you are, and the urge to spread the best and the joy and to send it to the world. So for me it's like I don't see a difference in between meeting you personally or online, because there is this huge spark of energy and enthusiasm. Of course it's much more how to say it, like enjoyable to work in person or to meet in person, because there you can hug people, you know, and actually share as a human beings. So that's what it makes it more real, but it's even real on the screens.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, that means a lot because, of course, like, you know, in the online space, we are, I think, all of us trying to really convey our energy and how we are really. And that's always, I remember another client who met me. First, we met online and then she saw me physically. So, wow, you actually look the same.
That's nice.
Right, right.
You are not a different person.
Yeah.
When you came out
So
of the screen.
exactly. Right. So let's move on. Would you let's maybe have a look a little bit at how is it for you to be part of the community? What is it bringing you? How do you feel there? If you can share for anybody who has no freaking idea how what's there, what is it like, or what could it bring to them? Would you share your experience?
Yes, of course. So the community for me in the first place is the community of people, which means that there is someone who cares, there is someone who is interested, there is someone who is on the same journey as I am, and there is someone who wish me the best. So for me, it's the place where I always find someone who listen to me, who is willing to support me, and who I can always come to, like either personally in the co-workings or meetings or in the shared chat or wherever. There is always space for me where I can just reach out. The second very important thing is the knowledge inside, that it's like never ending source of knowledge, and it's either from you because all the materials and everything and whatever is the part of your knowledge is very valuable, and for me it's like new universe. And I know that whenever I feel like working, I can just open the online online space, and I will always find many documents and many things to work on and to move forward. And as well the knowledge within the community, like there is always, when we are having the meetings together, when we share, it's like everyone brings their own experience, their own point of view. So I always am leaving enriched of new perspectives, new tools, or at least the feeling of that I belong somewhere. So that's what came in my mind. That will be definitely more. I don't think I can dig in deep right now.
Sure. Yeah, I think, yeah, definitely like the combination, that was my intention, really, to have the combination of the back end, all about the marketing, all about the sales, all about the down-to-earth strategies, together with the internal, right, with having support with whatever fears, insecurities showing up, like being overwhelmed or lost. And yeah, I love the feeling of belonging, the connection. I think so. For me, it's like when we don't see each other for a week with people, and he's like, "Ah, come on, where have you been? Like, what's going on?" So that's really like with friends.
And one more just popped up in my head, and it's accountability. That's something what helps me a lot to move on, because I do have that tendency to postpone and to hide and wait. And when it comes to community, and I know that we are gonna have a meeting or we have a co-working, it's kind of like I want to move on a bit. I want to work on the things. So it's not only that it forces me, but it's also like every meeting helps me to get the energy back and to actually feel that whatever I do matters. So that's what's like the power for my next steps.
Nice, thank you. Okay, so two more questions. Probably I might have more.
Go on.
So when you are saying these, what would you say the biggest breakthrough was for you personally, professionally, in the community, or together? Of course, like personal and professional lives are always interconnected. What would you say? What would you say the biggest kind of a change, breakthrough was for you?
Since I am working on myself for a long time, it's sometimes very hard to realize what happened when and because of what. So it all goes together.
Exactly.
But with community, there is one thing I have very much connected to being a part of the community, and that's authenticity. And that was that actually started a bit with my therapies and therapeutical training, but that time I had no idea that it would affect my life in the meaning of selling myself on social media. Because what was the biggest treasure for me was those hacks about how to deal with my energy and with posting and what to share, how, in what format, whether it's on a website or post or a story. Or I was really confused about like what is appropriate to share in what format, what should the message be, like how to write that someone actually reads that, or how to make a video that it's appealing and that people enjoy that. And for me, this was such a relief when we were discussing all those tricks and about how to be authentic and how to share the energy and how to be real, that there is actually no difference in working in the physical world and in working online, that it's the same people. They are just not physically here, but they are somewhere out on the screen or rolling their phones. So this was the biggest breakthrough moment for me, to realize that I don't have to play any games, that it's actually not even wanted, that the only game I play is being myself, and that I can actually go out with this and be vulnerable, be open, be real. And that's what would be the most appealing thing. And I don't know, actually, honestly, how that works, because I'm at this stage of business that I'm still looking for my audience, because my audience, since I started in new business, it's like I don't have the audience, but I definitely know the difference, how that works for me, that I'm no longer frustrated. I no longer sit here thinking of what I will post and how, because I know that I can go with my energy and I can go with the flow. So it's like huge relief that I can just be me. And it can sound like stupid, like, of course, who else you wanna be? But it's not that easy. If you are in there trying to build something, this is like thing that can be obvious, but in real is not that obvious at all.
Yeah, I think this is a huge one, because, and I think it's more to what you're sharing, that yes, it's be you or be authentic, but still there is a part of, yes, strategy and sharing it strategically. And it doesn't mean that everything from our personal life like needs to go online. So there are boundaries and so on.
Yeah.
But it's like this part that we choose to share connected to the business foundations and branding and so on. So that's basically the same as in a personal life, but still there can be, right, there is a line where we don't need to be sharing all the things.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, so that feels quite kind of like a freeing, and or like weight really falling off your shoulder, like thanks to, all right, like it can be this way.
Yeah, it's like yeah, I don't have anything better to compare it to. It's just the flow, like fresh flow of relief, and of that it's actually not such a big deal in the end. Like, it might be very overwhelming at the beginning, like for someone who doesn't know how to work online, or how to sell herself, himself, or how to do the strategies or marketing. It was for me like overwhelming. I didn't know where to start. And this was the moment where I actually reached out to you, because it was like, I have all these things somehow done, and I have no idea what to do with them. So it was kind of like, yeah, let's just relax, let's put it here, let's pick one and go, and you can do it this. And so for me it was a huge relief, and even like a vision of the strategy, what needs to be done, what already is somehow done, and I don't have to fine tune it, which is my nature, like never ending fine tuning and making it better. But what actually matters is to put it out there, because I can have it all in my shrink or in my drawer, but it actually doesn't matter if I am not able to put it out.
Yeah. Okay, awesome. So anything else? So you might have already answered. Anything that surprised you about yourself or about the community?
Well, for me, the biggest surprise when I joined the community was how many materials, structures, strategies, and all those documents there actually is. So once again, thank you for all of that, because I had no idea that it can be so organized, even though I am a very organized person. But for me, there is like real treasure inside, like plenty of things which are ready to be used and which are understandable and easy to go through, and which brings you deep inside to actually think of yourself, to think of your business or my business, and to think about what is important to me, who I wanna be as a freelancer, what my business should look like, so that it actually is in alignment with my own life and with my own lifestyle. So the amount of things ready to be used was something which really surprised me, because it doesn't happen very often that like the inner part of any course or training would be like this rich.
Interesting. Yeah, thank you for sharing. This is actually what we have. Part of the community was part of my in-depth, like an intensive group program training, but it would be no point like not having it for everybody, because that's the core of what we are teaching there. Okay, anything else that you can think of that kind of, so that was the really practical, strategical thing that surprised you, or anything that surprised you, I don't know, about yourself being part of it, or anything else about the community?
It's not that it would surprise me, but I'm realizing this again and again and again, that support really matters, and that it just brings the energy into everything. And it reminds me again and again that having things done and having them at home or in your computer is not really the way how to lead your business. That as far as it's not outside, it just doesn't matter what you have ready. So for me, this is what the community is about for me, to put myself out there, get myself out there, and to to talk to my audience, and to not spend more time than needed on things that I'm getting ready.
Yeah, that's big as well, where so many people are just preparing right before putting it out there. Okay,
that's me.
Yeah. All right. Any final words of anyone thinking to join us? I mean, like, yeah, the classical join, yeah, right. It's awesome. But anything more that you would say, if anybody is on a fence of joining, what any message that you would have for them?
I don't know, I just can't help it, because for me it really is like, go and try, because without trying you will never know what's inside, and you cannot know without trying. And you said that this is the regular one, the normal one, but I have no other words for that. It's like, what else shall I say?
Yeah, true. Kind of yeah.
So once again, for me, the community is something that really helps me move on, and every day, and even when I get lost and when I stop working or whatever, go back into my cave, then I know that I can always get back, and I know that there are people out there and things that will support me. And I'm really looking forward to all the new things that are now being done and being prepared within the community, because now it's going to become a much more like connected and enriched by all of us. So that's something I love about that, because there is not only the space to learn, and but also the space to practice, and space to build your own things.
Yeah, that's what I'm really excited about too, that you're actually going to be leading sessions in there and really practice and create your own materials based on what you're sharing, what you're going to be sharing there. Yep. So lots of exciting things coming. All right. Okay, thank you so much for sharing all of this with me. Really love knowing you and being together on the path together. And I'm sure like there is so much we are going to be creating together and co-creating. And who knows where we are going to be in 1 year or how many years time. So I think that's the real beauty. And as you said, like of course it would be amazing to even like be together physically, but that's as well something I would like to bring in so we can meet as well physically. So thank you so much, Kami, for sharing all of this.
My pleasure.
With me. Yeah, and yeah, that's it. I will see you in the community.
Thank you very much for having this discussion with me. And again, it's my pleasure to co-work and to work with you and to be the part of all of this. Looking forward to everything we create together.
Me too.
See you in there.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.